The college football experience, CFP, 12-team invitational playoff show reaction show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5, get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code. That is TCE SGPN. So do that, and remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Dan Hawkins. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Welcome to the college football experience. 12-team invitational announcement reaction show. YouTube.com/the college experience. Get on over there, hit that like and subscribe button. Yeah, I mean, this, just give me 5 seconds. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swing and Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
He's the kind of guy that would drink a gallon of gasoline so he could piss in your campfire. You could drop this guy off at the Arctic Circle wearing a pair of bikini underwear without his toothbrush, and tomorrow afternoon he's going to show up at your poolside with $1 million smile and a fistful of pesos.
We got just well, let me I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the College Basketball Experience, which will be going live later tonight. Give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, aka Monetline Mac. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Thank God college hoops was on today, because if not, we would have had to watch the NFL just to get off the social media, because the fake news is flying high and mighty all over the interwebs today. Good Lord. Cheers.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
Well, I just want to start the show off by saying oh, this is gold. Look, for my whole life, the small schools have been fucked over. My whole life, and even honestly, my grandparents' life, my dad's life, they've all been fucked over. I can do a seminar on this. There's so many examples. So to see the committee put in James Madison and Tulane over Notre Dame was fucking incredible. Now
it hurt, didn't it?
I mean, we have a lot to talk about, because they basically put Miami in over Notre Dame, which obviously makes sense because Miami beat their ass. I know it was a 1-score game, but they never trailed. But I mean, the win right there. I don't care if, you hear all these idiots say like, Jamie's going to lose by 30, to Oregon. Tulane's going to lose by 30 to Ole Miss. First off, we'll see. But I don't care. They deserve this. They deserve this. And I think it's just so great the way it all went down. Now, did Notre Dame get fucked over? I don't believe they actually did. Right? Like I truly don't. Like I believe their resume is incredibly weak. Right?
Yeah. they don't deserve to be in the playoff.
Well, I believe there should be a bigger playoff that should have Notre Dame in there. You know what I mean? Because I think they are a team that could win the national championship.
Yep.
But based on the criteria, comparing it to the other schools, I don't believe that they should have been in on a 12-team playoff. Now, the problem is the 12-team playoff. Problem is the corruption in the sport. And I'm just delighted to see that Tulane and JMU both got in, meaning they're getting a share of that money. I mean, look, like I said, I don't care if they lose by 40, right? That's hilarious. All right. It's fucking hilarious. But what was your reaction when you first saw that? I mean, I'm sure that was probably the first thing you noticed, but your thoughts on the whole thing?
Very reactionary, I guess would be the right term. Because how does Miami jump Notre Dame when neither played last week?
That's why the committee looks like a fool. And I'm on Notre Dame's athletic director did release some statement or saying that, you know, to have the TV show, it pumps up false hope, right?
Yeah.
Notre Dame should have never been ahead of Miami, right?
Agreed.
When they released those rankings, and the fact they had them 8 spots behind them, I'm with the Notre Dame AD there. Like, that shit should have been avoided. To pump up false hope is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, you should have known you were on the outside, you know, to a certain extent, because Miami beat you head to head and had the same record. And you played a lot of the same foes, and Miami had a better win. You know, I don't like that they go to that metric, but the reality is they do. So, hilarious. I mean, look, Vanderbilt should have been in too, in my opinion. But once again, this is why you should have a larger playoff. When you have corruption, it's just so hilarious that they got stuck. They got stuck in this. They had to do this. This is what's great about it. This is what's great about it.
Yeah.
Is they got stuck in this, and they had to. We knew Tulane because the AAC was getting one in.
Yep.
They'd already ranked JMU.
Yep.
So what do you do now? I actually think Duke has a beef here. I think Vanderbilt has a beef. I think if you're Notre Dame, you can say you have a beef. I think you can make a case on the Alabama side. I hope Notre Dame never joins a conference first off. So I hope they stay independent. I hope more teams go independent, but this is great for the fucking sport.
Well, like I said, it just feels like the committee was reacting. Oh, like just they were on their heels the entire time because they don't watch the games. They don't watch the games. There's no way Notre Dame should have ever been ahead of Miami. So now you're stuck at the 11th hour, the last hour, going, we got to flip Miami and Notre Dame. Nothing changed other than, oh shit, we're not going to have an ACC team in. Oh, and they did beat them head to head, so they look like idiots there.
They never trailed, I believe, in that game too. So it was like wire to wire, if memory serves me correct.
Correct. And their agenda on that program was outside of Booger. Booger's about the only one that like stands up.
Oh, I didn't watch that show. I can't watch that show.
Oh my God.
Watched it? Yeah.
I had it on in the background. I was getting ready to go out and do stuff. And so I was like, all right, let's see what this is going to be. So I put it on. I'm like, all right, I know I don't really want to watch this because I know how fucking corrupt it's going to be. And I'm going to get pissed off. And I almost threw my goddamn remote at the TV when they got to Alabama. And Booger goes, they also have the worst loss by far of any of these college football playoff teams, a 5-7 Florida State. And Reese Davis cuts off, chimes in and goes, well, it depends on how you define it because Florida State is power ranked a top 30 team in the country. What? In what world is Florida State a top 30 team? That team sucks ass. They got their ass beat by Pitt.
Where are they power ranked in the top 30? Where? On turnovers? What are we talking about?
Oh my God. I was like, what? I said, whoever's fucking power ratings those are, fucking blow that fucking computer up and fucking don't ever use that fucking formula because that is ridiculous. They could not wait to defend that and prop up Alabama as much as they did all week. And I know I'm biased for the Big 12. BYU should have been in.
They should Notre Dame fans are irate. BYU's got a way better resume than Notre Dame. Way better.
It's way better.
Yeah.
Six road games, 5 wins on the road outright. They lost 2 games to Texas Tech, who's an elite team, both in the state of Texas, basically road games. Yesterday was basically a road game. So, and Sataki made a good point. I'll put our resume against anybody's, but at least put us on the fucking graphic. They wouldn't even like the blatant slap in the face of BYU that they weren't even on the graphic. They went 11-1 in the Big 12, which was a better league than the ACC. The Big 12 beat the ACC's ass in the non-con. They had 1 less loss. Miami didn't even leave the state of Florida for the first 2 fucking months of the year. Yeah. And for them to just like throw BYU to the curb because of their little power ratings that have Florida State in the top 30 somehow, just shows you how corrupt and stupid this thing is.
Well, they never hit on any of the things that really matter. Like to me, winning on the road is the hardest thing to do in college football and college basketball. Like true road games are the hardest thing to do. I don't care who you fucking play, right? It is a hard thing to win on the road. And when you look, and this is why even my Vanderbilt argument, even though I believe their resume, Vanderbilt played 5 road games, but they went 1-2 against teams with a winning record on the road, right? So like even with that 1-2, okay, right? Miami played 4 away games, only 3 outside of the state of Florida. And any team that they played that was 500 or better, they went 1-1 in those games against teams that had winning records. So decent competition on the road, but only 4 away games. Notre Dame did play 5 away games, but only 2 teams had a above 500 record, and they went 1-1 on those. So right there, I mean, you don't really know much about this fucking team, and the same you could say about Miami, I think, to a certain extent. BYU played 6 away games, not including the Big 12 championship, right?
Yeah.
So they played more away games than everybody. 5 of the 6 were against teams with winning records, and they went 5-1. I mean, that right there should be talked about nonstop in the committee room. You know, like that. Even Duke, who I know it's become a joke, but I'm saying like people, I think personally, like I don't know how you put Miami in above Duke. I don't, because Duke played 6 away games, and 4 of the 6 opponents they played on the road had winning records. They went 4-2 on the road. Like I'm just saying, if you double up, like on a hypothetical, of course I would take Miami to beat Duke, but Miami didn't play in the ACC championship. What was the point of that fucking game? What was the point of that game? Right? So, I mean, look, I put Miami in over Notre Dame because you have the head-to-head, but I don't understand the. It's a little iffy, and then like the fact that they penalized the teams that lost yesterday,
BYU
and Virginia, right? Yeah. They penalized all the teams that lost, and not Alabama. Corruption, 100% corruption. But I think they should always look at those metrics. They never even bring those fucking metrics up. But you know, Notre Dame. Look, part of this isn't Notre Dame's fault, if I'm being honest. Part of it is how like Notre Dame's got the alliance thing with the ACC, right? Like where they play like a certain amount of opponents each year. Do I think they look out for Notre Dame and Clemson and Florida State? I 100% do. I think all conferences look out for their brands, but you couldn't have known that all those teams are going to be that terrible. Now, like if you look at Notre Dame's schedule, you're like, okay, you pretty much knew Purdue and Arkansas were probably going to be trash, right?
Yeah.
But Syracuse did win 10 games last year, right? The year prior. So you're thinking maybe that will help the resume. You know, Boston College is always kind of a bowl team. Maybe that will help. But the schedule just wasn't. Part of that is bad luck. Part of that is just bad luck. That's why you need to have a bigger playoffs. Because if you're asking me, and this is the thing I hate, is the people that would say, what would the spread be on and I'm like, I get that I would take Notre Dame to beat James Madison 100%. Right?
Who gives a fuck with the spread?
Well, it's like in college hoops. The team that what remember we were high on was it Seton Hall or West Virginia last year, Seton Hall 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
They would beat the 16 seed Alabama A&M by 30 more than likely.
Yep.
But Alabama A&M deserves to be in the tournament because they did what they did. They won their conference. In my opinion, any team that's 11-1 should be in a playoff. Any fucking team that's 11-1 or 12-1 now should be in the fucking playoffs. Period. Right? So you need to have a bigger field. Some of those things were like Notre Dame just got unlucky. Some of it was like, I look at Notre Dame's schedule last year, and I said this even before tonight. I said this like a month ago to you. It's like, have you seen Notre Dame's schedule next year?
Oh,
it looks fucking, it looks light as fuck, which I'm sure, by the way, Notre Dame's a name brand. They're going to look out for you next year, just like they looked out for Alabama today. They looked out for Alabama because why are you going to drop everybody else but not Alabama? And how did Alabama magically go up against Notre? You know, they moved them ahead of Notre Dame unjustly, in my opinion. If you're going to stick to your rankings, doesn't make sense when you beat a 5-7 Auburn team where Auburn outgains you by like 130 yards, 150 yards, and Notre Dame goes to Stanford and beats their ass. Auburn and Stanford aren't that far apart. They're not. Like Auburn's a little bit better, but I'm saying like not by much.
And dude, I see people in the chat talking and who gives a fuck what the spread would be? The hypotheticals. What was the spread at North Dakota State, Illinois State on goddamn Saturday?
That's what I'm saying. That's the laziest excuse.
It's like this is you get into the postseason based off of what you do for the entire season. I don't give a damn what the spread would be, the hypothetical. Yeah. Have we not seen upsets? Like we act like
this the whole history of the sport. Boise State, Oklahoma. I mean, every sport, really. Every fucking
this
sport.
This is a video game. Yeah. This is a fucking football game with real human beings. The human element, pressure, and teams in this with the target on their back choke in this sport. It's happened year after year after year. Upsets happen all the time in college athletics because these are 18 to 22-year-olds.
Any sport, fucking sport. The Giants won the Super Bowl with Eli Manning. They were the wild card. They barely made the wild card, and then they ran. Did they deserve to be there? No, you. And how about this? The NFL gets the team. How many times you've seen? Remember the Redskins and the Seahawks have made the playoffs at like a 7-9 record before.
Yep.
Right. And there's another 10-6 team or 10, where they missed the playoffs because of the division. This shit happens. All right. Like, but also you just have teams that are underseeded, right? That can pull off the upset. It's stupid to do the hypothetical, by the way. Notre Dame would be a 21-point favorite against James. Well, who gives a fuck, right? Who gives a fuck, right? Well, they were also favored against what's it called? A&M. They lost.
And Miami.
Yeah.
And that was my whole thing with BYU over and over. Everybody's like, they would be a dog in this game. In this game, I go, they have like 7 outright wins as an underdog in the last 2 years combined. Why can't they do it again? And I keep seeing this other narrative. JMU and Tulane have 0% chance of winning the national championship. Well, I think Alabama, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma all have a 0% chance too. Do they not deserve to be in the playoff? Why do we think Alabama, Oklahoma, and Ole Miss can win the national championship? They're not. All three of those teams are way fraudulent, but they earn their way to the college football. Maybe outside of maybe Alabama, earn their way to the college football playoff by doing enough work for the 12-game sample size. I think JMU and Tulane have just as good an opportunity of winning a game / games as Oklahoma, Alabama, and Ole Miss. It's just stupid. Yeah. These are stupid narratives. And there's no way to, like, people just throw shit out there. And it's like what we talk about with Sarkisian. He's the best play caller of the sport. Oh, okay. Like, yeah. What do you want me to debate you on that? So we'll see. I'm sure everybody thinks JMU and Tulane will get killed. But I think they'll be chippier than people give them credit for, man. Those are good programs, good coaches. There's a reason why the Power Fours are hiring their coaches.
Yeah. 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 I mean, that like
and stealing their players.
I mean, you don't have to look through, look at the college football season this year. It's like a lot of, Trinidad Chambliss was a D2 quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Deshaun Stribling, their starting wideout, was from Washington State, who's been referred to as a group of 5. You know what I mean? So it's like you can go 1 for 1 on these teams. Obviously, Pavia, they just missed the playoffs, but Indiana's basically JMU. We have 2 JMUs in the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, we got. I mean, all the Indiana players. There's like double-digit Indiana players that were at JMU, and a lot of them start. A good amount of them start. So, I mean, I think this is fucking hilarious. And I'll tell you this: one of the things I'm watching as a college football junkie or college, the arms race, man. The arms race is great. Virginia, and we'll go one by one on all these games and their outcomes, but Virginia had a great season. I was at ACC championship yesterday, and Coach Elliott afterwards said like, "Hey man, it didn't work out the way we want, but we're gonna go out and win an 11th game as a bowl." And this program's momentum is going in the right fucking direction, right? And we've gotten money coming in, so I was already fascinated by that element of Virginia getting like 3 major donors, in the past 12 months to throw money into the football program. And then you had Virginia Tech commit to a shit ton of money. They're bringing in Franklin. They're flipping this class. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Now you add JMU, which has money, man. Right. And I can only imagine that Liberty's watching JMU saying, what the fuck, you motherfuckers, right? We got to spend more. We got to spend more. I mean, this is America 101 right here. But then how about the other side of this? Like, I love how Tulane's in the 12 team playoff before LSU. Right? I mean, how great is a lot of this shit? Yeah. Right? How about Indiana back to back? I mean, the number 1 seed in the playoffs. Vanderbilt, I think arguably has I think they probably should have been in too. That's why we need a bigger playoff, right? I think Vanderbilt's a team that could win the national championship potentially. Same with Notre Dame. I believe Vanderbilt. See, Notre Dame fans look at Vanderbilt. I think both those teams could theoretically win the national championship. So it's not just I think you can go even further than that. But this is all great. How about the Texas arm race right now? Texas is going to be watching A&M and Texas Tech in the playoffs.
in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, this is so great. This is so great, man. To watch that. They're going to be spending a shit ton of money. There's going to be more pressure than ever.
Goddamn, right? They spent the most this year.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying like now there's even more. They're going to be like, fuck it, we got to throw more in. Love watching the arms race. Even SMU is probably sitting there like, fucking Texas Tech. This was us last year. We dropped it's just it's fucking America, baby. Let's go. All right, let's go game by game on this shit. Well, actually, I have a graphic what the playoff would look like real quick.
God, I hope Indiana wins it all.
Yeah, I mean, so the seeding, in case people were wondering, the seeding went like this: 1 seed is Indiana, 2 Ohio State, 3 Georgia, 4 Texas Tech. Obviously, those 4 get the bye week. Then 5 is Oregon, 6 is Ole Miss, 7 is Texas A&M, 8 is Oklahoma, 9 is Alabama, 10 is Miami, and then 11 is Tulane, and 12 is James Madison. Yeah. Now I am curious, what's the story with JMU and Tulane with their coaches the rest of the season?
I would imagine they're coaching.
God, that's the only part that really sucks about all this. It's like, how much can you really be paying attention? You know what I mean? How much can you really, if you're sitting there on the like calling every day your team, hey, we want you to come play for us next year at UCLA. Hey, we want you to come play for us next year at Florida. I do worry about that from a focus point of view, but I'm curious, what path do you think is the hardest? If you're looking at youtube.com/the college experience, what is the hardest path you think there? And what is the easiest?
The easiest is definitely Georgia's. But
they have to play Ohio State.
Yeah, but I like for them that they get Ole Miss with the potential interim coach or a Tulane team with Summerall looking at the Florida job. So already taking the Florida job. So I think Georgia definitely got the best out of the top 4. Ohio State might be the hardest. I mean, A&M lost 1 game the whole year. They plummeted from 3 to what, 7? And then Miami's talented. So I think Ohio State might have the toughest one.
Well, A&M's schedule broke so nice for them that in a way it kind of broke like the Notre Dame shit but they're in a conference, so they were able to, and they beat Notre Dame. But I'm curious which on-campus location, and I'm going to get back to the easiest path, but hang on. So we got Alabama at Oklahoma. We got JMU at Oregon. We got Miami at Texas A&M. We got Tulane at Ole Miss, a rematch. So they didn't even care about the rematch thing. They just went in. What do you think is the best game? And what do you think about all those home destinations for college football playoff games?
Great home environments. I mean, Norman will be lit. Eugene obviously be lit. College Station will be on fire for getting Miami coming in there, and then Oxford. So you got 3 SEC home teams. I mean, the thing that kind of just, and I think everybody agrees. Why can't we get the home games the next week? Like, give me Alabama or Oklahoma have to go to Bloomington. I'd love to see that. Could A&M or Miami go up to Columbus and get a win? Or how about Oregon potentially having to go to fucking Lubbock? That would have been awesome. So what game am I looking forward to the most? Probably Alabama, Oklahoma, just because Oklahoma has had their number. They're 2-0. Venables 2-0 against the board here. And you're right, though. Two out of the 4 matchups are rematches. Ole Miss beat the shit out of Tulane earlier in the year, and then obviously Oklahoma went to Alabama and got a big road dub.
I'm thinking Miami A&M's pretty fucking entertaining.
Yeah,
2 great line. I mean, like the Miami's defensive line against A&M's offensive line has my attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. Shout out to Ty Duck fan giving us $2. Colby, Notre Dame needs to join the conference. I disagree strongly. I actually think more teams should go independent. And I'll say this: Notre Dame did pussy out of a bowl game. Several teams did, by the way, which I think is ridiculous.
Snowflake society, man.
But Notre Dame and I think the narrative is being pushed that they're doing that because ESPN owns the playoff. I'm like, fuck you if that's the case, man. Like, you profited. What was it? I want to say, I don't have the number in front of me. I thought it was like $40 million last year, where every other school made like, because they had to share with their conference. All right. You used that same system last year and it benefited you greatly. Right. Yeah. Alabama got fucked over last year. Well, in my opinion, BYU and Alabama got fucked over last year. I think BYU actually got fucked over more than Alabama. Right. But
BYU got fucked over back-to-back years now.
Yeah. So to not be a part of it now because you're going to stick it to ESPN. I mean, I don't really give a fuck, but I'm saying like I just think it's a bitch move because someone's going to be on the outside of this shit at 12 each and every year. Vanderbilt's got just as good as argument as you. BYU's got a better argument than you, and they're on the outside, but they're playing football. That's why. As much as I love Notre Dame's independence, and I hope more teams go independent because fuck these conferences, they're too fucking big, right? I just think they handled this like a bitch. You know what I mean? And really, all these teams, Kansas State and Iowa State, bitches. Rutgers, bitches. You know what I mean? Who else opted out? There was a bunch, right?
Yeah, those were the main ones.
What do you do, Rutgers? You played the first ever college football game. Who the fuck do you think you are? You're Rutgers.
It doesn't even make sense that Rutgers opted out. Why would they opt out? What else was it? Like, what did they expect?
You're never gonna have a postseason ever.
Didn't they go 5-7?
Yeah, that's they called on them to come in there. Let me see. I want to look at who else canceled. There was a bunch of little bitches this year. You could and shout out to the.
And I know K-State and Iowa State are having coaching change, but why can't you play the bowl game?
K-State, you want to know why K-State? That's why Kleiman left. His team was full of bitches. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like that, and that's why you could see it all season. I feel like now Iowa State's a different scenario, Notre Dame's a different scenario, but still, I just think it's cheap. It's like you're this age one time in your life, you're gonna be little bitches and duck out on a bowl game. And to me, it's an opportunity where you could. CJ Carr needs all the reps he can get. If you want to win a national championship next year, I know your schedule's dog shit again, but and you should be fine to make the playoffs. But you're still to me, the more reps, the better. But also, you just get to play football. You're at this age in your life where you get to play football. As someone in my 40s, I would pay a lot of money if we had a machine that could let us go back and play football. So I think it's all pathetic. But we should have a bigger playoff. Maybe that fixes that. Maybe that's the damage that has to happen for us to jump to a 24 team or 32 team playoff. You know. So now speaking of that, by the way, I did see this. Let me see if I can. Load that up. No. Give me 5 seconds here. That's not it either. Where the fuck is that? I thought I downloaded it. No. I'm a moron, but okay.
I was like, what's he loading up?
Well, I saw what someone would say. Hold on. Ty Duck fan gave me $5. Colby, so how is it fair for other teams to play championship games while Notre Dame sits at home and watches? Well, Notre Dame got penalized for that this week, right? I mean, sort of. You know what I mean? But
I don't really know who they penalized other than they didn't penalize Alabama.
Well, you know what's great too is Vanderbilt hit them up to play a game, and they didn't want to.
Yeah, they should have played.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I just think everyone should be independent. The sport, that's how the sport really started. I'm anti all these conferences. I think they're like, hearing Greg Sankey hop on TV and say we should have 7 teams in the fucking playoffs. I'm like, on a 12-team playoff is ridiculous to me.
Who are the 7?
I was wondering the 7th. Was he saying Tennessee or Missouri? Who's the 7th? I wondered.
Texas?
No, they're like the 6th. They're the 5th, I think, right?
The
6th.
How many do they have in? 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 5. So it had to be what? Vandy and Texas.
Was it? Okay, I guess I must have missed one of them when I was counting in my head as I was driving. But either way, I mean, fuck these fucking conferences. Tony Petitti, you know, I hate all these fucking schmucks. You know what I mean? I hope more teams go independent, man. And like, how's it fair? I mean, well, how's it fair when Georgia plays 3 away games where everyone else plays more? You know what I mean? Like, these are things that should all be talked about. Like, you know, we're shitting on Duke for winning the ACC, and I get it. They had a lot of losses, but they did play more away games than a lot of the teams in the field. How many other of these teams are going to go play a group of 5 on the road? Right? Like Tulane, a playoff group of 5 team on the road. Yeah.
Tough team.
You know what I mean? So it's like that cost them. You know what I mean? So I think those things should all be they never bring that shit up. It should all be factored in. But thanks for the donation there. But hold on, I was gonna get to this, man. Let me see what here. You know, there's speculation that this thing could turn into a 24 team playoff. I think the Big Ten has thrown around this idea. I mean, how beautiful would this shit be, dude? This I saw was tweeted out earlier, but I mean, how great would this be? This is what I'm saying. You get more on campus games. The more on campus games you get, the better the playoff will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. The better the sport is, the better the playoff will be. If you had this right here where, you know, Indiana gets the bye, Indiana, Ohio State, Oklahoma, A&M, Texas Tech, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Oregon all get buys. Then your other matches, in case you're not watching on YouTube, would be Alabama, Pitt at Alabama. What do you think about that one, huh?
Oh, roll Tide.
Then you would have I can't even make out these fucking numbers on here. Is that Arizona at USC? Awesome.
Yeah.
Michigan at Utah? Awesome. Right?
Oh, they would smack.
Duke at Miami? Awesome. The drama with Diaz. Come on. Tulane at Texas? Fun. Houston at BYU? Fun. Cougar on Cougar. Virginia at Vanderbilt? Awesome. Or is that the other way around? Vanderbilt at Virginia? I can't read those fucking numbers. And then JMU at Notre Dame. Why does this would be way better than what we currently have? Fucking better than what we currently have.
Yeah, so Notre Dame fans think that they should be in over JMU. Well, we would get to prove it here.
Yeah, I mean, this would be so much better. just the scene of having all these college locations on a playoff Saturday would be fucking incredible. These morons don't think we should do that, right? These games would all be awesome.
Can they get rid of the fucking neutral site second round games?
Yeah.
Those are so dumb.
And while we're at it, since we're making everybody play 9 games, like, which I'm finally next year, ACC and SEC are going to 9 conference games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yes. Can we do a thing on the same amount of road games? It makes it so much easier to judge. You know what I mean? Like, if everyone's required to play 5 road games out of a 12-game schedule. So that means teams, even if you have an odd number or whatever, let's say, I mean, I don't even know, I haven't ran this through anything, but let's just say hypothetically, like Florida State only has 4 away games next year. Well, then they must schedule a non-con matchup away. You know what I mean? Like, figure this shit out. There's a way to unify this fucking thing. All right. There's a way to do this. You know what I mean? We're all getting the 9 conference games. I'm fucking very excited about that. It's really hard to tell, you know, how good some of these teams are. You know what I mean? When you have such a fluffy non-con, or sometimes it just might, and sometimes it's not even the school's fault. Like, I mean, Notre Dame's been playing Stanford for like 30 years. Stanford's down right now. This shit looked a lot better 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Or 7 years ago even, right? That opponent looked a lot better. You know what I mean? So I just think if we can all get as close as we can to that, the better the sport is. So I'd also personally like to see that's why I think 32. I think you have this, you get and then go, like Western Michigan won the MAC yesterday. They're in. Kennesaw State won CUSA. They're in, right? I don't care if they got to play a play-in game to get here.
Boise.
Every conference champ should be represented, in my opinion. But you know why they don't want to do that? They don't want to give the power to those, because then all of a sudden Boise State has a seat at the table, and then they can recruit better based off that. They can bring in better athletes, more money. They can steal some of the money from the elite. But anyway, yeah, shout out to that. That's a great thing right there. I can't wait if that happens. All right, folks, want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by, us. We are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Get access to all of our free picks and podcasts at one convenient place. Yes, the SGPN app. Download it for free in the App Store and just type in SGPN, and you should be able to find it. Remember, as always, folks, too, let it ride. We're also brought to you by Kalshi. We just partnered up with Kalshi, a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. In all 50 states, you can trade tons of markets. I mean, every single sport you can think of: college football, college hoops, NFL, NBA, NHL. I mean, and so on and so on. And plus, you can even trade props like first touchdowns. Besides sports, they also have a ton of other markets, including politics, entertainment. Hell, they even have the weather. All right. So jump on over there. New customers get $20 over at Kalshi. Use the promo code SGPN20. SGPN, just flat out SGPN. That's Kalshi, KALSHI, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog is your home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000 times the amount of money you enter. And Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5, get $100 in bonus funds when you use our promo code. That is TCE SGPN. So do that and let it ride. All right, we are back. Let me see if I can just load up the fire that we had from this fucking weekend here. Yeah, let's go to this.
Shout out to the FCS.
They're the best. They're the best. Let me move forward past all this shit. We got to talk about those coaching hires. I forgot to bring that up. We'll do that this week. But it started off with a bang on Friday night. By the way, your boy Dundee has been on absolute fucking fire. I don't know that I could have been done this. There's just what did I lose? Like 2 games all weekend. I feel like I had Kennesaw State, and this game had drama because Kennesaw State dominated really first 3 quarters. Then Jacksonville State, heart of a champion, battling back, taking a lead before Kennesaw converts a 4th and 17 and takes down Jacksonville State. What a game. I hit this one. Had Kennesaw State minus 2.5. It took everything to get there, but we got there. This was a double lock or a triple lock, I believe. So your thoughts on this one? What a great season for both these schools.
What a year for Jerry Mack, man. 10 wins. Kennesaw gets their revenge. Just a fun first season here for this new era, and we'll see. Maybe he's on the way out.
We should highlight that, by the way. With JMU, a recent FCS team, now in the college football 12-team invitational, right? Kennesaw is potentially going to be going for an 11th win in what is this? Their second year or second year, right? Jacksonville State is looking for their 9th win, right? Great story. It was recently FCS. Missouri State and Delaware are bowling this year. I mean, how about these FCS teams that have come up? Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, Jack State off of what they did with Red Rod last year too. To your point, so I mean, both these programs are on the up and up, and yeah, keep investing and let's keep this thing going. But yeah, the headline man though, Jerry Mack, unbelievable job, underrated and undercovered this whole entire season.
Yeah, and Charles Kelly too. I mean, I mean, look, as much as I picked this game correct, I didn't have either of these teams sniffing the CUSA championship. So
yeah.
Shout out to that. Next up we had, I had Troy in the points. This one 31-14. And honestly, had Troy not gotten their starting quarterback injured, it was 17-14 at that point. Now, I did say a lot of people shit on this, that JMU didn't deserve to be in the playoffs because they were barely beating Troy and Troy was the backup quarterback. Fair. That is a fair point. But I also think we should remember that their coach is the sitting head coach of UCLA. All right? Like,
they still won by 17.
I know, but I'm just saying like that. Like, I wondered how much they would be prepared when your coach is currently recruiting. Signing day was the other day, is upon us, and like signing season, and then you have the portal. I mean, come on, like how much can you really? As much as Chesney's a nice guy, he wants to be there. I still think human nature is human nature. So shout out to Troy. I smashed this one here. You picked the wrong side, buddy, didn't you?
I did. I had as little confidence in this game as any game on the day. I ended up laying it, but they almost backdoored it.
Yeah, they almost did.
Yeah.
Next up, I mean, this was the easiest money to be made.
Dude, come on, get this shit.
I couldn't believe the amount of people that were going to take UNLV. In my opinion, the easiest one the whole weekend. This was the easiest bet the entire weekend. This shit was never close, man.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah. I didn't understand the love for Vegas. Like they don't win there. Nobody wins there. And Boise had already lost a game earlier this year to Fresno. So yes, I don't know how they got here, but Boise finds a way to win the Mountain West once again on the way out.
Yeah. It's Eric. Boise was laying, I think 5.5, if memory serves me correct, or at least my bet was 5 or 5.5. This one was just easy fucking money. Easy money. Next up, nailed this one. I know Texas is a phony ass team all year. They got, you want the Cliff Notes version of like, there's some teams that just get a great schedule. Even in the conferences that aren't 18 teams. So imagine what an 18 or 17 team conference will do. Even 16. The American is what, 12? What am I talking? 14. It's 14, isn't it? It's 14, right? I think it's 14.
American's 14.
Yeah. So still in a 14 team conference, we highlighted this on our North Texas preview, and we're like, man, this is a great schedule. Now I had a hard time evaluating this game because both coaches were at different destinations. I just thought, man, I think Tulane's just better along the line of scrimmage. And I also just thought it's in New Orleans. It's raining, air raid team. Tulane smashed them 34-21. Your thoughts on this one?
North Texas was pretty simple to figure out this year. If they're going to lose the turnover battle by 5, they're going to lose. Because remember that South Florida game? The wheels fell off and those crazy turnovers. This kind of was a similar in terms of just like they were so careless with the ball.
North Texas had one good win all year.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
I guess 2. Well, Western Michigan in overtime.
At Army was a good win.
I know, but that's still a 6-6 team. You know what I mean? Like the Navy and Western Michigan are the only teams with winning records that they beat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, Tarleton State won at Army. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still, I think it's a decent win, but I'm just saying the resume was fucking weak. You know, Tulane had been much more battle tested. So it was a great atmosphere. And that was everything that was great about college football. And I'm glad you brought that up. It's Eric, because watching that game, I thought, man, the sport is fucked up right now because you have 2 coaches that are not, I know they're there, but once again, I don't think you can really be all the way there. I don't think it's humanly possible to be all the way there.
There's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that's such a bad look. They're having their greatest season in, I don't know, a long time. Tulane since like the 30s or some shit. And we're not even going to be able to enjoy it. But then it was like, you know what? The best part is the fans still can. They're getting to the playoffs. Whether they get destroyed or not, they're getting a chunk of that money. They can tell their LSU friends forever, fuck you, we made the 12-team playoff first, right? Which is just, it was beautiful seeing them storm the field. They don't care that they don't care what coach I mean, I'm sure they care, like they want to have a good football coach, but they're not going to remember that. Like, to me, like, you're just there for this moment. You know what I mean? It's not going to matter what day the coach left or whatever. That was a great part of seeing that. It reminded you that, hey, who gives a fuck? If you're a Tulane fan, if I was ECU fan, I'd be like, fuck this coach. I don't give a shit as long as we're in the playoffs. Yeah. Right? Like, this is a signature moment for a school. We can build on this. And yeah, shout out to Tulane. Yeah, 98. Yeah, you're right. 98. They in my opinion, they got a part of the national championship that year. Rich Rod was their OC.
Oh yeah.
A big fan. I watched like almost every game they played that season, I feel like. Sean King. They have Tony Converse, I think, at the running back spot. Yeah. Shout out to the Green Wave. Nailed that one. Then into Saturday, where I nailed this one. There we go. Buckham Broncos as Western Michigan sticks it to Miami, Ohio, 23-13.
What a year.
And, yeah, Lance Taylor breakthrough season. Hey, you took Western, right?
No, I went Miami, man. I went the revenge tour for Chuck Martin and company. So back-to-back years they lose in the Maction Championship. So shout out to these Broncos. And like you said, breakthrough year for Lance Taylor. I don't know if he was on the hot seat coming into this year, but it was a little bit of a narrative. He needed a nice year, and he got it and more. Great year. Congrats, Bronco fans.
Yeah. I mean, and there was a little bit more fans than normal, mainly because I think there's some Western alums that are in Detroit. Still wasn't lit by any means, but it was better. Better than the previous couple of years. Next up, we had BYU Texas Tech, and BYU goes down on the first drive, goes up 7-0, and I said, "Oh yeah."
I know.
I mean, dude, Texas Tech is such a fucking machine. And what's crazy is Texas Tech's offense. I did think Eakin got away with a big push off on that touchdown in the first one, but I mean, who cares? They would have blown him out anyway. Yeah. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Tech dominated them, and then when BYU started turning the ball over, that was all she wrote.
It's one of the only games I got wrong, by the way. I took the 13.5 in BYU. I did sprinkle the money line too, but very impressive. That was a lit ass Tech. That was a Texas Tech crowd, by the way. It was shit like 80-20.
And BYU did show up, their fans, but like Texas Tech was lit still. I mean, they magical.
That was an away game. That was still an away game.
Yeah. They got a great return on investment for this roster, man. Money well spent in Lubbock. Congratulations.
It goes back to a Cody Campbell interview. I mean, I listened to a lot of his interviews over the past year, so I don't remember which one it was. But basically saying that like we studied, I think they did like some type of case study on what is a blue blood, and then he on the episode he was explaining that, and then he just said we're never gonna be bad again. He was like we are throwing all the resources to basketball, football, baseball, softball, and we plan to be a force. He goes, I'm rich. To quote him, thought he said something like, this is now I've sold my 2 companies. I still own a couple others. Right. And he's like, but this is now my main job in life because it drives me. So get used to this shit. This shit ain't going anywhere. Texas Tech is a fucking blue blood now.
Hey, I thought the Big 12 could only sell out the national or the Big 12 title game if Oklahoma and Texas were in it.
Right.
Like, get the fuck out of here, man. They set an attendance record in that Jerry World.
Yeah.
Texas Tech showed out. And like I said, BYU did show up. It just with Texas Tech was a different animal.
And we'll see how BYU is next year. They committed once again when they brought Sataki back. Yeah. Part of the deal for Sataki was to get $10 to $15 million more a year above the rev share, which makes them one of the teams that can spend the most in college football. I mean, we'll see how that all shakes out, but allegedly. Next up, how about this call by your boy Dundee here? You went with me, didn't you?
I did.
Villanova 14. Lehigh 7. We were all over this one.
Let's go.
Rivalry game. That was a fun game. And going fourth quarter, entering the fourth quarter, 7-7. Villanova scores Pat Lone Wolf McQuaid with the touchdown with about 2 minutes and change left for the win against her rival. This is why the FCS is the greatest, because that game delivered, man. That game fucking delivered. And the regionality, everything was perfect. That was a perfect game. Shout out to Lone Wolf McQuaid and company, because in this game, Lehigh did actually, like, I see someone in the chat, Sammy, they're saying Lehigh shit the bed. Yeah, I mean, once again, Lehigh had 340 yards of offense. Villanova just 235, but Nova made the plays down the stretch. The fumbles, I think, were a big issue for the Engineers there, but we nailed that. Next up, we had yeah, you took Mercer. What are you doing? I was all over these Coyotes. 47-0.
What the fuck is this?
I thought these boys in the South played ball. What happened?
The Oats got him.
Aiden Bowman and company go down to 5-Star Stadium and give them a 5-star ass whooping. 47-0.
Hilarious.
I was all over that. I told you, man, I had an unbelievable fucking weekend, right? What's next? Frostburg State cuts down. I was sad to see our Frostburg State team. Now, luckily, we couldn't bet on these games because we did pick Frostburg correctly. I was talking about the games we bet on. All right, the games that we bet on, because what was the final of this? I got this somewhere here. Look, cuts down, put them on 51-29. So a nice ass whooping up there. Shout out to Cuts Down. And shout out to Carlton giving us $100. Great weekend of games. Shout out to the best podcast in the land. There we go.
Yo, baby.
Appreciate you, brother. Next up, we had John Carroll. This game. I was full transparency. I was driving, but I planned. So I basically caught all the highlights, went on YouTube, watched the highlights, but I plan to watch the game from start to finish, probably tomorrow morning. This game, Virgil in the chat has got to be vomiting because John Carroll, which many had said had ducked Mount Union. That's why they switched conferences. Well, they had a different message to send on Saturday because they upset Mount Union 10-7. Huge upsets. Let me tell you, if you were to set lines, this shit would have been in similar vein to the North Dakota State line, which we'll get to in a second. So Shout out to John Carroll with the huge D3 upset in the rivalry game that goes back 105 years. And then you get to this, John Hopkins, but this is one we got wrong too. I mean, we kind of play, we didn't have real numbers, so we just took picks with our heart. We won at Salisbury. Hopkins drilled him 45-13. Bet Detective nailed this one. Your thoughts?
Shout out to the Bet Detective. You think he watched any of these games?
Nope. I think he was in Vegas.
I did hear he was in Vegas. I heard he was having a good time out there with people in Las Vegas. You're like alive in the Bet Detective.
Yes, it's Eric. Mount Union got upset. Then we had Susquehanna. Eastern University taking on Susquehanna in the D3 playoffs there, and Eastern got shut out 29-0. These pesky Riverhawks keep destroying it. So, 29-0 dominance there. Illinois State, North Dakota State. This is the best game the whole fucking weekend. Why do you blow it there? Why even play the games? Playoffs too big in the FCS. North Dakota State's a 26.5 point favorite or 24.5 point favorite. What it was? Why even play the games? This is why you play the fucking games. All right. This is exactly why you play the fucking games, you losers out there. Illinois State goes into the Fargo Dome. Those, how many interceptions? 5. Tommy Rittenhouse. And they still find a way to steal the win at NDSU. Fuck you. I rest my case. All right. I rest my goddamn case. What again? How many North Dakota State players are going to be in the NFL? A shit ton, right? Let me tell you, their quarterback, like they have a good amount of players that will be on NFL rosters. Illinois State, I'm guessing maybe 1. What a fucking win.
Madness.
Yes. I mean, what a fucking win. This changes everything, man.
Mm-hmm.
NDSU was by far the best team in the FCS. And they got beat like the Patriots did against the Giants. Right? Or like there's so many other teams you can name. Wow.
23.5 points.
Yeah. I know. And that was, I think, what it closed at. I think it was at 24.5 or 25.5 at one point.
I know I locked up Illinois State, but
no, I got this one wrong. I was like, lay it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is incredible. Shout out to Crutch Bets. Yeah. David Matoli goes, is that Jeff Sims at quarterback for Illinois State with 5 interceptions? No, it's Tommy Rittenhouse. All right. What a win. That was the game of the weekend, including FBS. North Dakota, Tarleton State. I believe Tarleton State is legit because I picked, this is
stuck it to us.
Yeah. We took the Fighting Sioux and Tarleton State won by 18. That money, they're the next team to jump to the FBS. And let me tell you, when they do, they're going to be ready.
Oh yeah.
We're going to hammer that over on the win total the first year. Yeah. Yeah. Now that NDSU's gone, that is a good question. Because we have other news too, which happened. Not only is NDSU gone, let me just continue the slideshow. I'll look at the odds in a second. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not the next one, but Ferris State and Minnesota State were playing at the D2 level there. Ferris State, the factory, stuck it to Minnesota State. Their rivals 52-29. Get your bullshit out of here. Literally. Ferris State's a wagon. They lose Trinidad Chambliss. No problem. No problem. They should go FCS. They need to go FCS. Cause I think they could win the FCS potentially. Next up we have Newberry and Albany State. We're doing battle D2 college football playoffs. What's not to love here? Newberry, who we picked, took down Albany 31-24. Shout out to the Wolves. Come how Newberry's a team to watch out for, man. Oh, yeah. Sets them up for a game against Ferris State. So watch out, Ferris. And then on the other side of the bracket, it's Cuts down against my boys in a second, but also we had the Heritage Bowl this past weekend. I'm sure you watched it, folks.
You're looking live.
It was all there for you, but I'm sure you might have caught some of it. The Heritage Bowl. What was the final score on this game? It was. Why can't I find it right now? Anyway, what was the final score of this game? I think I shared the tweet. I actually didn't watch it myself, but I know the Candy Bowl for sure. But the Heritage Bowl, I forget who won this thing. Let's check this out. This West Texas A&M stuff.
Heritage Bowl. West Texas A&M won 28-27.
Of course, I picked it correctly. All right. See, that seems like a classic. I got to throw that one on tomorrow too. Now, right? Then next up, we had the likes of Wheaton and DePaul. This was a shocker as Wheaton took down DePaul. What the hell? They went into Greencastle, Indiana, and said, "Get your bullshit out of here. You ain't Signetti. You ain't Signetti." Shout out to Wheaton. Then we had Wisconsin River Falls. Stick it to St. John's, Minnesota. I think you had that one. Had that one. You were a River Fall guy through and through.
Yeah. Faded Rick Pitino here.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. I completely agree with you, Jacoby. Heritage Bowl's outdoors. Alamo Dome's in some bullshit. Alamo Bowl's in that dome. How about North Central too? They're a wagon. They are a fucking wagon, man. And now that Mount Union's out, you got to think it's North Central's to get. You just got to think at that point. They got a team to get that. Bethel and Wisconsin Platteville. We're doing battle. And well, as projected by our made up numbers, Bethel took it to him 35-24. So it sets up for Bethel taking on, who do they get next week? They get North Central. Awesome game. So let's check that one out. Barry and Trinity were doing battle in San Antonio. I know you're excited about these games, man. I know this is why we sign on, man. This is one where I do believe Barry stuck it to Trinity 31-23. One score game, great game. So yeah. Then oh man, Lindsay Wilson, she couldn't cut it, man.
Lindsay had too much fun the prior.
She couldn't cut it. There was quite the drama on the NAIA front this past weekend. If you didn't catch some of the storylines there, but shout out to Grandview for advancing. And then Marion. Well, Marion never even played. This game never happened because someone violated the rules for Marion. So Kaiser got a bye week. Unbelievable. What Nothing like reporting something yourself. They reported it, self-reported
in the playoffs.
Well, they're not thinking. They're like, okay, we'll suspend this guy, kick him out of here, right? Sanctions. No, the whole team suffers. Ridiculous.
What a way to end your season.
I think this is one of my best calls. Prairie View money line. Prairie View money line. Tremaine Jackson can fucking coach on the road at the Vet in Jackson, Mississippi. Yeah.
Let's
go. This is a great call, dude. You weren't with me, I think, right? You were with me.
Yeah. Right? Yep, I had Prairie View. So now what? They get South Carolina State?
Yep. In the Celebration Bowl this Saturday.
Let's go.
Can't wait. That's a huge upset there. We'll hit that on the money line. I called for that on the money line. This was quite shocking. How about these Yale Bulldogs hung with Montana State? Montana State only wins by 8. It's a 26-point spread or some shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Did not see. We got that one wrong. Then we both nailed this as Stephen F. Austin wins by 7 got the revenge on Abilene.
Jacks.
And then we had how about this? We both nailed this because Montana 50, South Dakota State 29, and this is why it's the most. Mac, I'm still going to try to talk you into FCS Natty because we're down 2 major blue bloods, and South Dakota State and North Dakota State are out, right? The odds-on favorite. This is what I was going to try to get to before. Let me see if I can pull up the odds on this right now. But I'm assuming it's Montana or Montana State that's the odds-on favorite the rest of the way. Futures. Where are we at? I don't even see it available right now. They don't only cover. Yeah, I don't see that available right now. But I would imagine it's Montana, probably Montana State, then Montana, then South Dakota, if I had to bet. But maybe Tarleton somewhere in there too. So, yeah, shout out to It's Eric, man. I've been to Washington Grizzly Stadium. That's a fucking incredible place. Is that the best home field advantage? What's crazy is the whole town shuts down, man. I went there kind of by accident, the football game, that is. I was doing stand-up there. And then me being the college football junkie, I was like, man, I know Montana's got a great program. If I'm going to be up there for the week, I got to fucking see if they got a home game, right? So I see they were playing Eastern Washington, who was top 10 of the. I'm trying to think of what that might have been around the time they had Cooper Kupp, but I thought like, hey, I'm just gonna be able to go up to the window and get a ticket. Let me just say, I spent more money on a ticket to go to an Eastern Washington Montana game than like 90% of FBS games. I spent like $500. It was something crazy to go to the game. But that shit was lit, man. It was a great experience. Highly recommend getting out to a game at Washington Grizzly Stadium. Big win there against the Jackrabbits. Then Harding, my boys, get this Permian Basin shit out of you. You can't handle the flex. They move along to the final 4 there in the D2 ranks as they have to go to Kutztown, which is bullshit. They should have to play. They should be hosting in Searcy, but we're going to go there, stick it to Andre Reed's alma mater. Let's go, Harding. We nailed that one. Then Upper Iowa wins the Candy Bowl in Hobart.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the person that tagged us in this game. They went. Fuck yeah. Let's go. They won that fucking candy.
Take that
then,
bet, detective.
Yeah. Benedictine sticking it to friends. Benedictine advances. And how about College of Idaho knocking off Montana Tech? The scene in this stadium too. I think I retweeted this. This shit was fire. Fucking mountains in the background, snowing. Let's go. And then we get to Georgia Bama. I mean, I nailed this one too. I mean, if we're being honest, and you're saying, because a lot of these people on Twitter, like it's like impossible to check the feed. You know, you're just gonna get in a bad mood if you check the feed, right? You're just like these fucking morons. Like they're saying we should just pick the 12 best teams, get rid of James Madison and Tulane, which is ridiculous because you don't know that they're the 12 best teams. But I can tell you this: if we were ever to do that, I don't believe Alabama's a top 12 team.
No,
I do not believe they're a top 12 team. They struggle. What they lost at home to Oklahoma. They got destroyed here. Probably should have lost at Auburn against a 5-7 team. Already have a loss to another 5-7 team by double digits where they got blasted, ran for like 300 yards on the ground. I don't believe they're a top 12 team. So if you're saying you're going to do this shit, then I expect Bama to be one of the casualties with Tulane and JMU then. Without question, I feel like they're not one of the 12 best teams in college football.
That was one of my points earlier in the show. If we're gonna say that Tulane and JMU can't win it, can Alabama or Ole Miss win it? I don't think either of those teams are good.
Yeah, I know Friends runs the flex as well, man. No, I mean Ole Miss. Well, especially after they lost their coach.
Yeah,
like. How do you even have Ole Miss in the top 12 then?
Yes,
right. We haven't even seen. So if you're telling me we're going to do the 12 best teams, Ole Miss and Bama should probably be out. Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, Miami in. I mean, and it's all hypothetical shit. That's why, you should cast a big enough net, but this was domination. How do you lose by 3 touchdowns and you penalize every other team that lost in a conference championship game, but not Bama? They ran for -3 yards, Mac.
They got killed at the line of scrimmage. They got
negative. Dude, I shit you not, man. And they are a fucking, like, they're like an old school Pac-10 team. They remind me of like UCLA with like,
yeah, they're soft.
Like the Mora era or something. I don't know. Like one of like just finesse team. They're a fucking finesse team, man. I know they didn't have Jam Miller, but still he's been out a lot of the season. You should still be able to run from like Georgia's defense is good, but it ain't that good. No. All right. Where they hold you to -3 yards. You know what I mean? Like what?
They got went to the line of scrimmage right from the get-go. And Simpson, RIP to your Heisman candidacy. I mean, he looked like shit.
Marshall in game 1 of the Tony Gibson era, which had like 60 or 70 transfers. They ran for 78 yards at Georgia, and that was on campus. -3 yards. Austin P, the Governors, ran for 45 on Georgia. Right? When do the metrics matter here, Reese Davis?
No.
Right?
Well, yeah. Florida State's a good team. They're top 30 power ranked.
Charlotte ran for 39 yards on Georgia. The Clit. They're 1-11. Didn't beat an FBS team all year. Alabama -3 yards, and they didn't even play it on campus. Fuck out of here.
Good stat by Jacoby. First time Bama rushed for negative yards since 1968.
Whew. That is a great stat. Then we took Indiana money line. Boom.
Let's go.
Just had a fire fucking weekend. And I want people to let's just call a timeout right now in the sport. A lot of people bitch and moan about the transfer portal, players paid, all this shit. It's terrible what's happening to college football. 19 teams in the conference. And I bitch and moan too, right? But one thing I've always said is that this is heading in the right direction because you're getting parity throughout the sport. The teams there was only like 10, 15 teams that were cheating before. Now everybody has a seat at the table. Manny Diaz, I asked him this question last night after the game, and he talked about that. He said, we have a top 10 quarterback in college football. And he goes that before, we wouldn't be able to get that. And now that everyone has a seat at the table, think about this right now. Indiana, Vanderbilt, JMU just came up.
Yep.
I mean, Texas Tech. This is the sport working. Like, as much as it's flawed with the coaching, timing, and everything, this is fucking awesome. This is awesome for the fucking sport. Shout out to the Indiana Hoosiers. Won the Big Ten. Signetti, 2 playoffs, 2 years. He's turning them into a fucking power. And he's doing it with a goddamn JMU roster. All right. This year it's Mendoza. Last year it was the fucking kid from Ohio that was out that played with a torn ACL. He did it. He's doing it with a mid-major team too. If you need any more proof why mid-majors should be in the playoffs, Exhibit A.
How good a coach is he, man? I mean, the job he's done is unbelievable. Back-to-back playoff appearances at Indiana. Now he beats Ohio State. He's the 1 seed. What a time.
Mid-majors can't play in the playoffs, right? Why would they let him in the playoffs? What? Because Fernando Mendoza is a Cal transfer. He's not like Rourke the year before where he's the actual mid-major Ohio transfer. But don't worry. Elijah Surratt, their best wideout, or arguably their best wideout, he's a James Madison transfer. What about their running back? Kalen Black, he's a James Madison transfer. You can go on and on and on. Their fucking other running back's a UAB transfer. Fuck you. This is exact proof that they have a group of 5 team. They have a group of 5 team that just won the Big Ten.
13-0. 13-0.
The whole damn team. Look at their whole defense. Their whole fucking defense is JMU transfers, right? Old Dominion transfers, shit like that. So anyone that says otherwise, like, hey, if you're saying JMU and Tulane doesn't belong in the playoffs, you're basically saying Indiana, because they're a group of 5 team too. They're a group of 5 team that changed jerseys.
How about that Ohio State kicker missing that kick?
That was,
oh my God.
That was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand how that happens indoors too.
Yeah. It's like fucking 29 yarder.
And that is like, I don't even understand how that happens, but, yeah, I mean, Ohio State, I mean, we'll see. They'll have their opportunity. It was a great matchup.
I think we can put to rest the narrative that Indiana can't beat Ohio State. They beat them, and they can beat them again. I'm not saying that's an end all be all last night, but I think Indiana at least proved everybody that they are an elite team that absolutely can win the national championship.
Yeah. I just want to look up something because I believe, let me just see what I can do here. Come on, man. Gosh, why is this shit so hard to find on the app? Hang on 1 second. But Indiana's, I mean, obviously, is that the best coaching job you've ever seen?
I think so. I mean, what he's done, what are they now? 25-2?
Yeah.
24-2 in 2 years. Are you kidding me? At Indiana?
Wait, but who leads the team in sacks too? Elijah Hardy. Do you know where he played ball? You know where he transferred in from?
He was in the Sun Belt.
No, he was at Navy. He was a Navy transfer in the AAC, right?
That's not the Power 5.
Yeah. How about Kamara, their beast defensive lineman, JMU? How about Aiden Fisher, JMU? Their whole fucking defense is all guys from Old Dominion, JMU, Navy. So I don't want to hear this shit. All right. He is. I mean, Signetti's the
doesn't
fucking
fit
man.
their negative, or sorry, doesn't fit their narrative.
Yeah. So they're just. I mean, I don't know. We can go on and on. I could sit there. Anyway, next up we have. I hit this on the money line too. Duke. Mensa Magic on 4th and goal. This was a great game to be at. And I'll be honest, I really thought they were putting them in the playoffs. I really thought Duke would be a playoff team today when I woke up. I really thought. I thought there's no way they're going to leave out the champ of a power conference. Now you realize unless they need to expand this soon because they have now done this. So it's open game for anybody. You know what I mean? Like now that you've done this, I'm just saying like that now nothing is safe with this shit. You know what I mean? So like you could see a lot more. Yeah. Tyreek Tucker, another JMU guy. Shout out to the chat. That's what I'm saying. Like their whole fucking defenses there's like literally they start like, I feel like their rotation, at least of like their top 10 tacklers on defense, like 7 of them are JMU transfers. But shout out to these Blue Devils, man. Great season. You won the ACC before Cristobal.
8-5, man.
That's my only problem is why does Miami deserve to be in?
They'll say because they have less losses.
But they got rewarded for not playing Virginia.
Yeah, and they also got rewarded for not playing anybody on the road for the first month of the year. Or for the first 2 months of the year. They didn't leave the state of Florida until November.
I agree Miami should be in over Notre Dame, but I do think you have a decent case where you're like, they didn't play for their conference championship. So you're rewarding them. Like, then why shouldn't Virginia have been in? Virginia basically got penalized because they played the championship game. So if Virginia would have not played.
Yeah. Decline it. Opt out of the conference championship. They're doing it for bowls. Just do it for conference championships.
Gosh, like, it just doesn't make sense. And I don't know, like people would say, well, Miami would hypothetically beat Virginia. They also were favored by a lot against and SMU.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Cristobal will never lose as a big favorite.
It's just corruption. Yeah. Doesn't make any fucking sense. I thought Duke should have been in. I know the schedules, it is what it is, but I don't get it. I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like if you're Virginia, you're saying, well, wait, why the fuck did we play? Why did we play? Or if you're BYU, like BYU deserves it more than, in my opinion, BYU deserves it more than Virginia and Miami.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just crazy. Just crazy. And then we cash late night.
Davis.
UC Davis sticks it to Rhode Island in Davis, California, 47-26. Triple lock. All right. That's our slate right there, man. I do want to hit on this. We have the Celebration Bowl. We have the FCS playoffs this weekend. We have a Friday night FCS game. Stephen F. Austin at Montana State. Awesome fucking game. I want to touch on the bowls. I mean, you know, I mentioned we have the Celebration Bowl as well, but we obviously have all these bitch ass teams that don't want to play extra football because they're little bitches. But we do have Boise State in Washington. This the Peterson Bowl, unfortunately at SoFi Stadium, when you have the fucking Rose Bowl and Coliseum, two meccas right there. You're playing at this bullshit. That's on Saturday. We got Army Navy on Saturday, which is incredible. Best rivalry in the fucking sport. Fight me, right? I just want to run through these. Troy, Jacksonville State next Tuesday. Next Wednesday, Old Dominion, South Florida. Louisiana and Delaware. Thursday, we get Missouri State and Arkansas State. Border battle, to quote Patty C. Friday, we get Kennesaw State. Next Friday it is. Kennesaw State, Western Michigan. That's a good game.
Oh, yeah. That's a good.
That's in Myrtle Beach. Shit, I should go to that shit. We also get Memphis, NC State. And then we get Alabama, Oklahoma, obviously first round of the playoffs. That's the following Friday. Following Saturday, we get the triple header in the playoffs of Miami A&M, Tulane, Ole Miss, JMU, Oregon, which, by the way, if you're curious, Oregon is a 20.5-point favorite. Ole Miss is a 16.5-point favorite. A&M is a 4.5-point favorite. And Alabama, a road favorite of laying 1.5. I will not be picking that one, as you can imagine. Then other bowl matchups: Washington State, Utah State, future Pac-12 matchup. Toledo, Louisville, Western Kentucky, Southern Miss. I like that. That's old COSA. All right. UNLV, Ohio. UNLV is going to cook the books for another win. Ohio didn't even have their head coach.
Hilarious.
My favorite bowl, Cal, Hawaii. Timmy Chang against Rolovich. Now we're talking. We're both on the. Yes, that's fire. Christmas Eve. Central Michigan, Northwestern, New Mexico, Minnesota. Minnesota got royally screwed, by the way. They should have been playing in the bowl Nebraska went to. FIU, UTSA. How about the Military Bowl in Annapolis? Pitt and ECU, Mac.
Let's go. You got to win that game.
Penn State, Clemson, UConn Army at Fenway Park. You know I love that. Georgia Tech, BYU, Miami, Ohio, Fresno State, North Texas, San Diego State in New Mexico, Virginia, Missouri, LSU, Houston. How about this one? They're giving us a bowl game of App State, Georgia Southern. Deeper than hate rivalry. You know I love it. Coastal Carolina.
Sunbelt game.
Yeah. Fuck it. Let's go. Coastal Carolina, La Tech. Tennessee, Illinois, which we just saw on the hardwood. Can Illinois complete the sweep? That's the Music City Bowl, so it's going to be a Tennessee crowd. USC, TCU in the Alamo Bowl. How about Iowa, Vanderbilt in the fucking was that the where's this one? That the one in Tampa? Yeah. All right. Well, that should be a bigger. That should have been a playoff game. That should have been put the 32 team playoff. That would have been a fucking playoff game. Arizona State, Duke in the Sun Bowl, one of the best bowls there is. That's a fun matchup. Michigan, Texas in the Citrus Bowl. We'll see if those teams show up. Nebraska. This is it. This should have been Minnesota, Utah. It's Nebraska, Utah in the Las Vegas Bowl. You get Rice bowling against Texas State. You know I love the in-state battle. Navy, Cincinnati, and the Liberty Bowl. Navy's going to beat another Big 12 team, dude.
Could happen.
Yeah. Wake Forest, Mississippi State in the Mayo Bowl. Arizona, SMU in the Holiday Bowl. I want to know which ones you want to see most. Give me three that you're really looking forward to.
I think the easy one is Iowa Vanderbilt. I mean, just styles here. Pavia versus Iowa's defense. I think that's going to be a fascinating matchup. Georgia Tech, BYU. Both teams had a great season, so looking forward to Sataki versus Brent Key, which is two of our favorite coaches. Penn State, Clemson. The disappointment bowl.
I kind of like
that as their national championship rather than the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. Are you kidding me?
I kind of like USC TCU, the Mike Leach Coaches Bowl. You know, Dykes against Riley. They were on the same staff at Texas Tech. That's fun. Yeah, we got. Look, the bowl season. They could try to deplete it all they want. Look, and I want a larger playoff, so that would get rid of a lot of these bowls, which I'm in favor of. But yeah, Hawaii Cal's got to be number one, right?
Yes.
But or Vandy Iowa's probably my number one. Then that. But
yeah, Vandy Iowa's gonna be fucking great. So is BYU Georgia Tech.
Yeah, they care. Did you see Clark Lee's comments about potentially opting out of the bowl game?
No, what he said.
He just said, "No, that would never be us. We like football.
And
we like playing football."
Sataki would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Sataki said the same shit last year.
All these bitch ass schools. Rutgers was dead to me. I'm out on Shiano. They're dead to me. All right.
Can't believe that shit.
Who the fuck are you, Rutgers, to turn down a fucking bowl game? Who the fuck are you?
They didn't even qualify for a bowl. How are you going to turn it down?
How
are you going to turn it down when you didn't even qualify?
Just ridiculous. Look, these teams all declined bowls, by the way. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Florida State, Auburn, UCF, Baylor, Kansas, Rutgers, Temple, and then those are all 5 and 7 teams that opted out of the bowl games. Now, to be fair, some of them might have already left for winter break, right? But the ones that didn't, we know Notre Dame, Iowa State, Kansas State, bitches. Kansas State's the most disappointing there.
Yeah. Iowa State too. Like, I know Campbell.
Notre Dame too. Notre Dame deserves all that shit too.
Well, I mean, Notre Dame, it doesn't surprise me. They're bitches.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Hey, what do you think this does long term? Like, I'm curious, like that Virginia shit. Dude, JMU making the playoffs. I don't care if they lose 49-0. Making the playoffs is a big deal.
Well,
they're only going to throw more money into that school. They have money.
Yeah, and it's like I keep saying, you keep getting to the dance enough times, you'll knock down that door eventually. So yeah, I agree. This is great for JMU, great for the sport. And you just keep getting to the dance. Good things will happen, man. It took San Diego State in basketball years and years before they finally knocked it down and got to a Final Four. Same with Gonzaga. So now JMU's trying to do so. Took Boise a minute as well. So congrats to the Dukes of JMU. Congrats to the Green Wave of Tulane.
Yeah. And Mysterious saying Iowa State doesn't have a team. They have their rosters. Why not play in one game? If you're telling me you might have to bring back an alum as a coach or something. I'm sure there's options. We remember when Louisville brought in Deion Branch.
Yeah.
He coached the game.
What's her name? Wisconsin brought in Alvarez.
Playing football is a privilege, man. You know what I mean? Like that's a fucking, you get a great opportunity to just play football. But then the fact you get to go, like some of these bowl games are in cool locations. Some of them are not, but I mean, whatever. It's just one more day, get to play. That's why I'm saying this is the worst generation of all time. It's just the worst. I don't want to play football. Could get injured, right? Fuck off. Yeah. All right, Moneyline Max on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at DColbyD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Let's expand the fucking playoffs. 32. Let's go. Let's go. Till next time, folks. This is the College Football Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot.